In this little series, we're talking about what makes an IEP goal what I call IEP worthy. And in another video, I shared 4 filters to determine if a need makes it all its way through and should become an IEP worthy goal. The goal is that this 3rd grader who currently types 3 words per minute with 73% accuracy will get better. Now, that's not how the goal was written, but conceptually, the idea is more words per minute with greater accuracy. Okay, so would a typing goal be an IEP worthy goal? Out of the gate, I'm going to say in general, I like the spirit of it. The idea was as an alternative, or at least as another mode of communication for this student. In the present level, there was a little bit of information about the student having some struggles around motor, which is, again, if you look all the way back and he or she or they have a diagnosis of autism, is not surprising. And so I love the spirit and the idea of a typing goal instead of making a student really have to sit there and forever work on a tripod grasp until they can write something. Eye gaze, pointing, all kinds of things, right? We communicate in many, many ways. So I love the spirit and the intent of it. But I'm not sure it's going to make it through IEP worthy. So the first filter is, does this need to type more quickly and with more accuracy, does that stem from having a disability? I mean, that first filter is probably the easiest one to get through because you can say, sure, the student has autism. And we know that for many students with autism, this is going to be a motor sort of issue in terms of expressing their ideas and or accomplishing day-to-day tasks. So in a way, I'll give it to them in the sense that, yes, but I would like the team to peel back a bit more and understand that this student is going to struggle many motor tasks, not just typing. So typing becomes the activity or the place we practice or the thing that our lives are better because we have it. But the goal is really to be able to have some sort of motor control or motor planning or motor accuracy. It depends on really what it is that the team was going for. And filter is, does the need for typing more words per minute with greater accuracy, is that inability having an adverse effect on the student's ability to access, participate, and make progress in the general curriculum? Yes, only in the sense of because typing is the means by which the student is going to express themselves in a way that's not verbal, I'm guessing. Again, the present level didn't talk about this as a communication goal directly and framed it more as a fine motor skill. But again, if this is what the student needs to be able to express their ideas and their thoughts and participate and engage and answer, then it sort of feels like a yes. But really what the student needs is multiple ways to express their thoughts, ideas, and to engage with the curriculum, one of which is typing. So a better goal would be something about being able to express their ideas, demonstrate what they know and have learned, and to communicate their opinions with others using multiple modes, including typing, writing, talking, signing, whatever the ones that they want for this student to be able to have as their home base. So I really don't think typing all by itself, just on the face of it, that we could argue without typing skills, a student can't access, can't participate, and can't make progress. Many, many, many students can't type and won't type, and they can still access, participate, and make progress in the general curriculum. So I'm going to say at that point, it's not an IEP worthy goal, but let's just finish it out with the other 2 criteria. The third is, does typing to get faster and with more accuracy require specially designed instruction? I would argue without a great deal of information in the present level, no. Does it require practice? Does it require maybe even a consultation with an occupational therapist or a speech therapist who teaches students to type to communicate so that we know kind of what is the best keyboard, the placement, the expectations? Right now, the child's being held to what other third graders can do in terms of typing number of words and how quickly and how much accuracy. I would want to know for that student to be able to get things done in the allotted time without getting frustrated, to be able to express their opinions and ideas and answer and be engaged, how fast and how accurate do they need to be versus some arbitrary standard of what other third graders do. And I might get that information from observation, communication with an OT or SLP. So I would argue it doesn't require specially designed instruction, but will require some thoughtful accommodations. It may require some consultation, and it'll certainly require practice and support. So that idea of supplementary aid services and supports, 1000% without needing an IEP goal, but the student can still get services in the form of consultation or supplementary aids and supports. Okay, then that leads us to the fourth filter, which is how the goal is written. Can it be accomplished in 1 year's time? Again, without a little bit better of a present level, I'm unable to determine if it's something that they've set. It's sort of a traditional goal with objectives that the student will move up in both the number of words per minute and the amount of accuracy, and that as in like quarters, and each quarter they'll hit a new benchmark, if you will. And so without knowing the student's full kind of present level, how quickly they can acquire, how much their motor is, other supports that we're going to be giving them to have success in terms of, can they type with their thumbs? Are they having to type in a traditional way without looking at the keyboard? You know, all of those things. It's just too hard to predict, and I don't think it matters that much. Really, the question is, by a certain benchmark, is the student more able to participate, to access, and to make progress? So that will always be the test in the end. So in general, I will say typing is not for this particular student an IEP worthy goal. I would say that something around being able to express themselves using multiple modes of communication would be the direction the team wants to head, and that typing can be one of those. If it's really a fine motor issue, I want to know much more about their bilateral motor coordination. I want to know much more about how they use their hands in a variety of things, from being able to play games, to being able to get dressed, to being able to eat, not just in written expression. I would also want to know about their reading skills in general and their symbolic representation skills. I would want to make sure that whatever expression in writing we're seeing this student is struggling with, it is really fine motor, and it's not something more cognitive in terms of representation, where the student is able to understand that letters represent ideas and that I can do that in a written form. So again, I can almost go 3 tracks. I could go down an expressive communication track, I could go down a fine motor track, or I could go down some sort of cognitive track that has something to do with symbolic representation. And the present level should guide me much more in terms of what is the real need here. Then those needs need to make it all the way through the 4 filters in order to write an IEP goal. Doesn't mean the student doesn't require supplementary aids, supports, and or maybe consultative services, maybe even direct services that are embedded into the daily routine. But I don't feel like typing is the IEP worthy goal to address those needs.